what's up, everybody? What's going down? Yes, sir. It's the Sugarhill Gang Podcast, and I am joined by my co-host, T Dynasty.
Yo,
What's up, T?
yo, what's up there?
Hen diggity, hen dig diggity, hen dog.
No, Wakanda forever, baby.
Okay. Wonder Mike is always here in mind, body, and soul. And of course, I am the Master G.
Yeah.
And we are doing this thing, and today we are joined by hip hop royalty itself.
We blessed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my true pleasure and it's truly an honor to introduce the man himself, Big Daddy Kane.
No question.
Kane.
Big Dick.
No question. Yeah.
Glad to be here.
What up,
Glad
man?
to be here.
How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. Everything is wonderful, man. Wonderful, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. It's always a pleasure. Good to see you. You know how we do. You know, we keep that spirit going, cosmically, celestially, the whole nine, you know what I mean? Good to see you. Look, man, I'm gonna jump right into it. And we do this with everybody. Tell us your Rapper's Delight story. Where were you? What happened? What was your experience when you first heard it? You know, tell us that story.
I remember hearing it on the radio and going to one of my boys saying, "Yo, hip hop is on the radio. Like, yo, it's on the radio." He like, let me see. I can't remember who was on HBI at the time. I don't know whether it was Magic or Supreme Team. I want to say Magic because that was 79.
Probably was Magic. Yeah, I think it was Magic.
Yeah, Magic.
I think it was Magic.
Yeah. So when I said it, they asked me. They was like, you mean HBI? I mean, I'm like, no. I'm talking about like real radio. Like this shit is on real radio. Yo, it's happening. Like I was like really, mind blown.
How old were you then?
11.
Wow.
79. 11. Yeah, 11. I was born in 68, so 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm from used to in the park jams, I remember as far as back as 1975, going to the park jams as a kid, and you seeing cats out there playing "Love Is the Message" or "Bra."
Yeah,
or, we got our own thing, them joints, and people get their mic line, and everybody at the age of 1, my life begun.
Yeah.
And about 2 dead boys got up to fight. But now I'm actually seeing someone. It's really on wax. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was really on wax from MCs and spitting, and I was just like, yo, nah, this shit is real now. It's happening.
That's the thing that I was going to speak to, man, because of course, your roots are based in the heartbeat of it. You know what I mean? And I tell people this all the time. We were given the gift of bringing it to the world commercially, whatever the case may be. We were doing it in an Englewood, Hackensack area, but the roots came from New York and that situation and that scenario. Talk a little bit about that, man. What was going on, on the ground, before it came? What was your experience with that?
Well, I mean, as I just said, you go to a park jam, and whatever DJs is playing, it's like a block party, and the DJ, like in Brooklyn, it was different than like Bronx. It was like a lot of the disco stuff you heard, like as far as break beats were concerned, Got to Be Real, Good Times, like those joints, and as far back as I can remember, it was like Bra from Samande. We got our own thing from CJ and Company.
Yes.
Love Is the Message from Mother, Father, Sister.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh
it.
my God.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah.
that's what we were listening to. Like Love Is the Message was actually the Brooklyn anthem. That was the Brooklyn anthem.
Right here, baby. I know it.
Yeah. Like you throw that on, the mic line might extend all the way back to the end of the block. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when everybody pretty much had the same rhyme. You hear, I'm talking about maybe around 1975, 76 around. Right. Everybody had the same rhyme. They're like, at the age of 1, my life begun. at the age of 2, I was doing it. And you remember the one about the 2 dead boys got up to fight. One was blind, the other could see. They chose a deaf man, the referee. It was like that type of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's that. Hey, that and again, I always wanted to be known, and one of the reasons why we have chosen to do the podcast is that we wanted to be able to connect with people that we are connected to. It's important, especially in these days and times, man, that we have this energy going on because we got so much happening. What up?
Hey.
We got so much energy happening, and our music has become the driving force, man, in this world. The fact that we can get in a situation and be on a call like this and have this kind of energy going on, man, is truly beneficial to the progression of our music. One of the things that I'm into, Kane, is names. I'm very big into that. Of course, I got Master G from my great grandmother sending me letters, and they had Master Guy O'Brien, and I took the Master and the G in the first letter. I was looking into your situation. Tell us about the creation of Big Daddy Kane. Part of it was from David Carradine's Kung Fu. Is that right?
Yeah, with the name Kane. Yeah, because when I was a kid, we'd be outside, playing hot peas and butter, or Coco Livio, stickball, whatever, and, come on, what was it? I think, is it 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Thursday night?
Yep.
Yes. Kung Fu come on, I holler.
That was it.
3 o'clock Saturday, when Kung Fu Theater come on, I holler.
Right.
Yeah, so they'd be like, all right, Bruce Lee gone, we got to get someone else to come in, or Young Grasshopper gone, or Kane gone. So I just thought Kane sounded slicker than Young Grasshopper and Bruce Lee, and that's what I ran with. Yeah.
Right.
And then here's the hit too, because I'm a film buff. Everybody, I always talk about this. Big Daddy came from a character that Vincent Price played.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And one of the Muscle Beach movies with Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon.
Beach Party. It was Beach Party.
Yeah.
So you got that. Oh, wait a minute. I think and he was like the big boss or whatever the case may be.
No. It was somebody in a sombrero that would be sleeping the whole movie. And every time they moved, they would stop dancing saying, Big Daddy's about to speak. Then finally at the end, he raised his head up and you see that it's Vincent Price. You never know it's Vincent Price to the end of the movie.
That's cool. Very good. That was quite clever, sir. I always thought it was something completely different. I did. I mean, and I've known you for many, many, many decades, and I always thought you got it from a whole different setup. And then when I started, like I said, when I delved into it, I was like, oh, this is extremely clever. I have to. Ask
that kind of plays into it too, but that's another.
I know.
Story.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, and that's the thing too. The progression of a character that we create, it becomes. It actually becomes bigger than us sometimes. I like the Master G thing. When I started talking about that whole my name is known all over the world, it wasn't happening at the time. You know what I'm saying?
But you foresaw.
I evidently. Quite the case. So creating it. Talk to me, man. And this is the first time we've never really done this. We usually just kind of speak to each other when we see each other. Because we just acknowledge each other's presence and we get down. We never kind of sat down and kind of had it. Talk to me about your creative process. I'm always curious because again, the synchronicity of your rhymes and the way that you play on words is definitely a skill.
Crazy.
Talk to me about that, man. How does that work? How does that happen for you?
I mean, really, it's really about painting your masterpiece. So it's like, if someone asked me to do a verse on their song, or if there's something that's, on my mind that, I want to express, through music, it's like really, taking that blank canvas and saying, how do I want to approach it? How do I want to approach it flow-wise? Then once understanding that, knowing how I want to put words together. Because, I may want to put words, because whatever the beat is doing, I may want to put words together where it's connecting like, boom, boom, boom. Or I may want to connect like boom, boom.
Right.
So, once I know that, then I start, I start playing with it. And as I'm saying things in my head, I'm thinking about stuff that relate to it that might, be with sports, might be with singing, might be with someone's hit record, might be something in politics. And then I'm connecting it, making those connections, where it all work. And then I just start, penning it out,
That's what's up.
Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful
did
stuff.
You battle a lot? Because your freestyle is crazy, man. Did you do a lot of rap battles and stuff like that?
That's how I started. That's how I I started out in 1980 as a DJ.
Okay.
Yeah. I was DJ Sir Romeo. yeah. In 1980.
These are some bits right here, Kane.
Yeah. And I was writing rhymes for my cousin Nicole. Her name was Nikki B. So I was writing her rhymes, but I was really a DJ. And someone stole my turntables from my grandmother's house, and then my cousin Murdoch, an older cousin, he was rapping. So I wanted to get down with him. This is like 1982. And I wanted to get down with him. So I started writing my own rhymes, but he was telling me I was young. And he was down with a crew. He had 2 dudes in his crew. So I started off writing battle rhymes. That's how I first really started, on my own. And I wrote battle rhymes to battle the other 2 dudes in his crew.
Right.
So I started off as a battle MC. And afterwards, people on the block was like, yo, man, you good, man. You should keep it. So I just kept on writing them, and we'll be going to different projects like Brevoort projects, Marcy projects, Tompkins projects, all over, Fort Greene, Wyckoff. But these Brooklyn projects, going all these other spots.
Right.
My man, battling different rappers there. And that's how I started building up street credibility up until like 84 when I met Biz.
Right. And then so that was your transition into recording and stage performance. All of that came as a result of your connection with Biz. Am I right?
Yeah. Because it was like Biz. When I met him in '84, he was doing shows for Mike and Dave.
Okay.
Y'all remember? I know y'all know Mike and Dave. He was. Yeah. So he was doing shows for Mike and Dave. And so he was familiar with the stage and all that. And then plus, being around other artists that had records out, I'm pretty sure he probably was around y'all, Flash and them, Spoonie.
Yes.
Yeah. So Biz, he had experience. He was already seasoned. So I was learning a lot from Biz at the time,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've always been an admirer of your time in our music. And the reason why I say that is because, of course, in the beginning, it was us and Mel and Flash and them, but it was such a divide. You know what I mean? We didn't share information. We didn't breathe off of each other that way because of the friction of the initial transition, us being from Jersey and the whole 9 yards, and it didn't go down as smoothly as I wish that it would. And eventually it did become, because I love Mel and everybody. We get on famously now. It's a different world. But I've always admired the fact that you guys all had each other. You know what I mean? And it was like a camp. It was like everybody was working to do the same thing and succeed. So there was a lot of energy. That's always been one of the things that I've most admired about your era. You and Biz and Coogee Rap and a lot of the people that was in that. Sugar Hill was a little different, but your involvement is so much crazier. And I remember a time where this is way later on. We did a show, and I hadn't seen you in a long time. And you came out, and you had the 2 dances. You remember how you used to do the show you had the 2 dances?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was like, damn, I wish I could get down like that.
Oh man, cut it out, man. If I'm correct, you talk about the show in Phoenix, Arizona. And that same damn show you talking about is the show where you took your shirt off You standing there shirtless. So I mean, come on. You know, I ain't in no shape to do that. So I don't know what the hell you talking about.
No. Listen to me. Now listen to what I'm saying now. Now I had to resort. I had to resort to extreme measures.
Oh man, I'm crying.
to make my point. I'm telling you, man, y'all. I mean, but like I said, Lawyer, Melanin, everybody, man, the steps and all of that, and the moves, and this and that. Man, we gotta have it.
And you can still do the moves right up to the end. They lost the step.
Yeah.
And I got nothing. Trust me, I got nothing. I mean,
jumped out there with your dancer that last time I think we were in the Carolinas together.
Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah, the outside joint.
Yeah, the outside joint.
I just posted that yesterday. Yeah.
See?
I jumped in one of those moves. I had to call ambulance.
So yes, man. Now listen, and this is the thing that I like to do too, because I have an opportunity now to talk to everybody. And you know, you've always been one of my favorites, and whether you know it or not, you've always been one of my favorites because I like how you do your thing. The situation, you were in a movie, and I'm bouncing all over the place. You were in a film, okay? You played a hustler in this film, okay? And your scene was you pulled up and the cat was driving and you were in the passenger seat. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know this film? I know you did a lot of stuff.
I believe you're talking about Exposed.
I think so.
The joint with Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my. I love the character, man. You played that character like, I mean, and I'm sure you based it on somebody that you knew or people that you grew up around, like we all do when it comes to that. But when I tell you, man, that was was an amazing portrayal. It was incredible, man. It was definitely incredible. How did that happen, man? How did you transition? Because that's something that I was always admiring. I know you know Posse and all the other films and stuff that you've done. What was your transition, man? What was your jump into film from being on stage? How did that go down for you?
Well, it originally first started with Robert Townsend. He reached out to Tyrone Williams and wanted me to be in a movie he was doing called Media Man.
Yes.
I remember the movie Media Man.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, just being on set, watching the way, because at that point in time, you know, Don Cheadle was in the movie before he was Don Cheadle.
Yes.
You know, you know, it was like just learning so much, man. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, wow, okay. And I'm like, you know, I really, you know, I like this. This is something I feel like I can do, you know. And then we had like this one little scene, like a performance scene in a movie with Mario Van Peebles called Gunman.
Okay.
And then after we did it in Mexico, and you know, I stayed away from the water, but my dumb ass bought an icy. Not thinking that that's still water, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ate the icy and got sick. So it's like while we're doing the performance thing, you know, I'm on point, but as soon as they yell cut, I'm running off the set to go throw up. Yeah, it was bad. And Mario was just like, yeah, I thought it was so professional. He's like, because Kadeem Hardison was in it. You know, he was like, Kadeem told me how sick you are. And I just thought you were very, very professional the way you carried yourself. I mean, on camera, we would have never known. You know, but Kadeem said how sick you was. He was like, listen, I'm shooting this Western. And there's a part that I wrote for Wesley Snipes, but he want too much money. And I think you might be perfect for it. And
wow.
Like, yeah, well, I'll have it. And then, you know, after that, we did Posse. And, you know, that was that.
Man. Oh, such a great film, man. Great film.
Thank you,
Again, you rocked it, or you rocked that character, man. You know, I you know, everybody can't translate on film. You know, just like a person, everybody can't translate on a record. You know, you have to have, there has to be something that emits from your performance. You know, and you definitely do that. You know You know, it's not, oh, that's Big Daddy Kane. No, whatever character, like I said, you played the hustler in the Keanu Reeves film. You were that hustler. You weren't, and you're a friend of mine. So it's not like, oh, look, I'm watching Kane, I'm watching my dude. No, I was into the story. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the sign of a successful attempt at, you know, portraying something in a film. So to cut,
You know,
to cut through.
one thing I noticed is that a lot of hip hop artists get roles in movies because they're hot hip hop artists. So really, you know, you're put there because of your credibility, not because of your acting skill. You know, and you know that's not what I want. You know, because you know, just like right now, I'm not a hot hip hop artist. You know, I'm not one of the hot hip hop artists. So it's like I want you to respect my skills. So even when the records die down, you still want to mess with me in your films. You know, so I try to really portray the role the way it need to be portrayed, and you respect me as an actor as opposed to a rapper in the movie. You know.
Well, that also is a part of who you are, though, man. You know what I mean? You're the kind of person that you go about your business like business. You know, it's important for people to understand that this is a business. You know what I mean? It's show business. You know, it's the business of show, and you have to, if you're going to have any longevity, which you evidently have, you have to go about this thing from a business standpoint.
So you're right. Yeah.
And again, that's another reason why you know I hold you in high regard. The way that you have handled yourself and your longevity, the transition, is definitely it's to be admired, and it's definitely it's to be duplicated. Are you? And I'm sure you have. Are you evolving yourself into bringing people with you, or as far as like, are you creating other proteges, or have you done that? Or are you getting into that? Are you thoughts, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, like throughout my career, I've always tried to, you know, instill what I know into others and show them, you know, explain to them what worked for me, and you know, put them on the right track of what works for them. You know, because everybody different. You know, so you know, just try to, you know, get them to, you know, really look at their inner selves and see what works for them, what can take them to the next level. So that's something I've always done. I have tried working with artists in the past. Right now, you know, not really that much because music has changed so much, like the style of music right now. It's like we have a young artist try to do what I'm doing. I may fuck his whole career up because, you know, music, you know, the music is just so different. You know what I'm saying? I don't you know, really relate to like a lot of stuff the young cats do. You know, I ain't putting it down. I'm just saying that it's different from what I do. You know, I wouldn't want to mess their career up, man.
It's
I respect that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because
if it's one thing that you think that you probably took away from hanging around Biz, what do you think that would be?
Biz, hunger. Like, I never seen nobody as hungry as Biz. I never seen nobody that wanted as bad as Biz. Like, I mean, like, yo, man, I mean, we would get train tickets to like probably like Westbury, like somewhere in the early parts of Long Island, knowing damn well we had to go way, way out, you know, to Suffolk County. Like we had to go somewhere like Central Islip, and we just staying on the train, you know, moving from cart to cart until they finally check our tickets and kick us off. And, you know, most of the time, when they kick us off, we had our stop, you know, where we was trying to go like this. You know, I mean, man, the stuff that I've seen Biz do to get inside of a doorway, get inside of a club. I remember one time, because this is back when TJ Swan had the long jerry curl, and I had some dark shades on, and it was something going on at this here white club in Long Island, and Biz told him that I was Kumo D and TJ Swan was the lead singer of Ready for the World. Yeah, like, yeah, man.
Okay, that is so crazy, man, because I did some of the same stuff because I'm a big Prince fan. So, you know, I used to dress up like him, man. And
don't tell people that, Henry.
Backstage.
Big.
We gonna talk about that later on tonight. But yeah.
But not everything, not the heels and all that now. I mean, I don't want to go too far.
Kane, see what you did, man. See, you got him off the rail, man. Come on, man. Good Lord. Good Lord.
But yeah, I mean, now Biz was a hungry, like he wanted to be, a hip hop artist. He wanted to be a celebrity, and I never seen nobody work that hard to achieve their dream, man.
He's definitely done it. Biz has done some amazing things, and he's another dynamic individual, man. And people don't always understand how deep he is. Like you said, the depth of his abilities and the things that he's accomplished, man, are phenomenal. You know what I mean? And it continued, and his presence will be felt, many decades on. I've been asking people, depending on where we're at and where the head's at, what are your thoughts on us as a people now in this pandemic, and the awareness, not the new situation, because there's nothing new about what's going on with the police situations in this country. It's just, to me, it's just it's a case of awareness. You know what I mean? There's more. You can't hide anymore. This has been going on, and
it's being filmed now. That's all. But
that's the difference. That's the difference.
Being filmed now. This is the difference right here.
Give us your view on what's going down. I mean, I see it from one perspective. Everybody's got. So I just want to know, man, what do you see? What do you see now when you look into the world?
When I look into the world, I see a whole bunch of chaos and confusion. And I believe that the reason why we see it is because the majority of people that listen, they listen to respond and not to understand. When you're trying to talk, when you're trying to relay your point, when you're trying to express your feelings, in the middle of your conversation, someone is waiting to jump in like double dutch and shit, because they just want to respond and critique and argue with what you're saying, as opposed to just being patient, listening, and trying to take a second to understand where you're coming from.
Right.
So it's like we're so divided simply because social media gives you a platform to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Back in the days when you just turn the news on, you hear the news, that's what it is. You hear what's going on and
going on, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
But now, since you have the ability to make comments and have an opinion, that's more important than really even understanding what's going on.
Exactly.
I definitely agree with you. And the social media is definitely made and created so many opportunities for so many people. So I've always agreed with it on that level. But the thing that does kind of bother me with it is that it gives people an opportunity to talk and say things that I don't necessarily think that they would normally even say in a one-on-one conversation. You know what I mean? I've seen people make comments and then the bashing about the social media thing that it bothers me or irritates me is the bashing. I don't like the bashing that it does. A girl will put something up there about, she's trying to lose weight, let's say, and so you got a bunch of people there to say, yeah, man, that's beautiful. And then, but you got a whole lot of other people like, why would you put a picture up there? I mean, we have to, and I agree with you, we have to allow people to be heard. That's a great reason why this thing is so exciting. We're giving people, not that they need our platform, but anytime you can put out some good information, or anytime you can put out some positive information, I think is necessary. Just talking to Fat Man Scoop, and he was saying you just have no idea who's watching now. Early on in my career, early on, everything was audio. It was just what you heard. You heard us on the radio. You heard us at the. But now It's what you hear and what you see. So I think we're moving in a time, and we're at a place right now where it's important, man, for people to be more conscious of what they say. How are you faring up, man, with the not performing? Where are you at on that? I mean, as far as mindset wise, like for me, performing was my endorphin release. It was like working out. I don't work out a couple of days, I get a little off. And performing was a lot. Performing is the same way for me. Where are you at on that, man?
Well, I mean, right now, we performing, but it's just not as much as it used to be.
Right.
Since this whole pandemic thing, I have done 3 shows.
Mm-hmm.
One was not a full set, just a few songs on Zoom for a private event, where I'm like, just like y'all see me now. That's how I'm rocking.
Right.
That was one, and the other 2 were virtual events that they streamed. One already happened. The other one they streaming on October 9th. But I mean, it's just different because it's no crowd, so there's no energy. You got to create your own energy. It's like your energy is what you imagine.
Yeah.
So that's a lot different.
Yeah.
And then you got to take the COVID test before you come. Mask on and all that stuff. So it's just different, man. It's a different vibe, And even like with your others, because like the one we just did, it was me, KRS-One, Rakim, Dougie Fresh, and Greg Nice. And it's like, okay, these are your brothers, but still, I mean, it's play at your own risk.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable, go on and hang out in their dressing room. You know what I'm saying? If you feel if you abiding by the social distancing, then you can't even really kick it with your own people. So I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's something different. But I mean, I just think that instead of praying for things to go back to normal, I think that mentally we need to make them adjustments and start accepting this as the new norm, because you never know. If things go back to normal, beautiful. But if not, you need to be prepared for this and know what's your next plan. What's your next what's your next your next strategic move. If you only gonna be doing 2 or 3 shows a year or what so have you, what's your next strategic move?
Right.
I agree with you on that.
No question about that,
man. I definitely agree with you on that. This is the other thing too, man, that again, we've never done, but I'm going to do it now. If you've ever had a question for us, me, whatever, what would that question be? Here's your opportunity to ask a question, any question you want. Ask me any question you want.
Okay, here you go. It's the 90s. Adam Sandler comes out with The Wedding Singer. And there's a 90-year-old white woman at the end of the movie singing Rapper's Delight. How did you feel? How did you feel?
So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this film because I was a big fan of Adam Sandler. Huge fan. And she's through the whole film, she's working, she's supposed to be working to get this thing ready for her husband. That's the whole premise of her.
And putting meatballs in people's hands.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm liking it, it's cool, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, man, the music started playing. And she said, I said, a hit. I said, no, it ain't no way in hell. I said, wow. I mean, it said to me, you really don't understand how mega this record is until you see something like that, and from being in the place where you know, and again, I never say that I'm the one that brought it. You know, I didn't give it going in the city. I was in people's basements. I was in dance in high school gyms, you know, rapping and, you know, and talking about, you know, different things. But to see it done in that light, in that situation, it was one of the moments in my life where all I could just say was, wow. I had no clue. I really had no, and then also too, 90s is the time came where I had taken my sabbatical. So I was away from everything and I was away from everybody. You know, I was kind of like, I was in this cocoon, a self-imposed cocoon or a self-imposed situation, because I had, you know, I was just trying to regroup and get my mind right to be able to figure out what my plan of attack was going to be moving forward. So that also hit me because I was so detached from it at that time. To hear her sing that was, oh my God. It was like, wow, you know, this thing, I thought it was going to, and I honestly thought this too. When I initially stepped away and went into, business, I thought it was going to go away. I thought we were going to be like swept under the carpet. I really did. I thought Sugarhill Gang was going to be no more, and we were going to be, you know, a thought of the past, and we was going to be on them K-Tel oldie but goodie commercials. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then, you know, I'm sitting in the crib and I see that. So yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. I got another. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you working on any new music?
Nah, not really. I'm working on a project for film. It's music, but it's something for film. It's not like no new Kane.
Soundtrack type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
But let me just add on to what Guy said, man. I mean, it's like I have nothing to do with the song "Rapper's Delight." Nothing to do with the Sugarhill Gang other than friendship. But when I saw weddings like that, that hit me like for real. Like that meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I mean, you know how, come on, man. I mean, what I endured in 88, I can only imagine the shit y'all went through in 79. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so therefore it's like, you know, at a time where, you know, I'm dealing with people at Warner Brothers trying to tell me, you know, stuff about my music and yada yada. And it's like, okay, the last record you worked was probably something for Stephanie Mills or Evelyn Champagne King, which you know about hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So y'all just introducing it. You know what I'm saying? This is the introduction to the world with Rapper's Delight. So I can only imagine what y'all endured and to see where it is now. Like where the world is now, where hip hop is now because of one song. I mean, y'all got a bunch of hits, but I'm just saying that first one. Yeah. No. That first one just, you know, changed everything.
That's the license. That's the license, the passport, the insurance policy. That's the retirement. That's the key to the whole series, man. At the end of the day, again, through being grateful and fortunate, my life will be what it is when it comes to because of that record.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. Like, you know, Apache, whatever. That's but that rap record.
Yeah.
If I didn't do nothing else, I could go to the inauguration of Joe Biden and sit there the whole night and not do nothing but get up and do that song and turn the place out.
Without
that one song.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I can't tell you, man, how many times we've been on stage, and you know how it is when you get on stage. Some of the crowds, they be tough. They be like, you know, sitting up there, and it's hard to get them. You know what I mean? We go through our whole set, but Rapper's Delight, I always bring them home, baby. It never fails. Oh, yeah. You go into Rapper's Delight, it's over.
Just like
I mean, that's part of history. Like this, like rappers, the lyrics to Rapper's Delight is like the lyrics to My Girl Or you know what I'm saying? So it's you know, it's like kids that don't know who the Sugarhill Gang is know some of the lyrics to Rapper's Delight.
No
You know what I'm saying? It's like kids that don't know who the Temptations are know the lyrics to My Girl. You know,
Right.
it's that powerful of a song. The state power is incredible. I wish I had a hit like that. Shit.
You got plenty of them now. Come on now.
Not like that.
Don't get me
Not like that, bro.
Don't get it
twisted. Y'all on the list with Happy Birthday and Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's real spill.
Okay, I remember watching when Obama had the things going on at the White House, and Will Smith got up there, and everybody got up there, and they were doing their thing. They did Rapper's Delight. Obama was on every word.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's my point. That's my point. You know what I'm saying?
Kane, again, and you have to excuse me if my information isn't correct. Isn't correct, but again, a lot of the time that I was away, I wasn't informed, and I'm still getting informed. I read that you have a connection to Jay-Z some kind of way early on before he became. Is that it?
Yeah. Back, I want to say like 89, maybe. 88, 89, somewhere around there. I can't remember. Fresh Gordon. He wanted me to do a mixtape with Jazzo. So he invited me over. Then Jazz said, "Yo, you mind if my man rhyme on the tape?" And his man was Jay-Z. I was like, "No, that's cool." Yeah. So we did the mixtape, and afterwards, you know, on the ride back home, one of the Shirt Kings, Nike from the Shirt Kings, he was like, "Yo, the real reason we wanted you to do this is because we wanted you to try to help to get Jazz another record deal. You know, would you be down?" And I'm like, you know, yo, I got love for Jazz, but in all honesty, I kind of like that light-skinned dude better, man. You know, I'm like, you know, can I work with him? Right. You know, and you know, we got connected and we started going in the studio, recording songs on Jay-Z, trying to shop his music, you know. But this is when he was doing that real fast rapping, you know. He wasn't the street talk. He was doing like real fast rapping then. And we was shopping his songs, and then like a little while later, I ended up going on tour with Patti LaBelle when I did this. Feels Like Another One song with her.
Great song.
Yeah, and like, you know, that was my first time ever seeing like outfit changes. Like she doing like 3 different outfit changes in one show, and I'm like, oh, damn, ain't nobody doing this. So when the tour was over and I had to go back out on the road, I called Jay-Z and Positive K, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take y'all on the road with me because I'm about to do some new shit, you know. So like when I brought them on the stage and like when I do half the show, and then I call Positive K and Jay-Z out and I let them freestyle on stage while I be backstage changing clothes, trying to get my Patti LaBelle on, you know.
Got you.
And I come back and finish. Yeah.
See, man, and like I said, that, you know, just finding that out, man, it was pretty mind blowing, because again, here's another individual that you don't know history is happening when it happens. You know, like Rapper's Delight, I had no clue that, you know, somebody would be telling me that Rapper's Delight is in kindred spirits with Happy Birthday. You know what I mean? I mean, I never thought when I was, you know, laying the vocals down that one day this would be that song. So you don't know when you come into contact with a person or a place or a thing what they're going to eventually end up being. And now we're talking about a cat who is, you know, making deals with the NFL. You know what I mean? Which goes to show the growth of this music, man. I mean, this thing is in the beginning. The only thing on the radio was again me, us, Curtis, and Melanin. That was all that was on the radio, on regular radio. You know, and now, you know, we got people that own radio stations. You know what I mean? And making movies and, you know, doing so many incredible things. Have you heard about the New Jack City reboot? Has anybody heard about that?
No, I'm just hoping that it's not the same one I heard about like back in the early 2000s.
No. Yeah, I'm
Man, people are
again.
doing it. Mario doing it. Mario been doing it.
I read something a few days ago that there's I think there, but you know how it is, man. There's talks about everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I would
There's
love
talks
to.
about
Well,
everything.
are you talking about a remake or
Yes.
a sequel?
No, a remake, a reboot.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, yeah. Now I heard talks about a sequel, but never about a remake.
You did?
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that I read, and I'm an avid reader. I spend a lot of time surfing, and I don't do the social media pages. What I do is I read the news junkets. I read the news in England. I read the news here in America, and I read CNN, and I read because it's a way of being able to grasp and really immerse myself in whatever it is that's going on. So.
Right.
In my reading, I saw that. The reason why I did, my brother had a small scene in New Jack City. He was with
On
the
the
kids
steps at
on
the
the
end, right?
Yes, he had
Yeah.
a small, because him and Mario did rapping back in the early '80s. Him and Mario did a movie.
I forgot all about that.
Exactly.
Red is the color when I'm in love.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kane, I'm gonna blow your wig right now. All of those raps in that movie that Mario did, that was me.
Was you?
That was me. Now, what happened?
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. They had already shot rapping. Well, first of all, we can go even further. I was trying to audition for films. I was trying to do film even back then, but I was going out as Guy O'Brien. I was trying to go in a whole situation away from the rap thing. I didn't want to be recognized as a rapper. I wanted to be noted as an actor. I didn't go in for the audition for rapping. Leo went in, he got the movie. Shot the movie, Mario got the lead, blah, 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 blah. We get to LA. Now we're doing a pilot for Motown. The Motown Review featuring Smokey Robinson. We're out there. In the meantime, Leo is doing looping. You know what looping is, right? You're in the film business, so you know. So he was looping for rapping. They find out who I am. They want me to watch the film. I go in there and I'm listening to Mario on the screen rapping. He was horrible. It was the worst. It was horrible. So first of all, that was the first thing. Second of all, they shot it in Pittsburgh. A rapping movie in Pittsburgh. Yes. So right away, when I'm looking at it and I see the locations and I'm watching, I'm like, where the hell is this at? Movie's over with, they come to me, what do you think? And it was a Canon picture. So that was at Mogollon and Globus, them two cats that did all them Canon movies, the Death Wish movies. They did. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think? I'm like, y'all want the truth? Or you want the paper truth, or you want the real truth? No. That's what I'm tell you something right now. That might play in Europe, but if you bring that crap here to America, you're not gonna. Well, what do you want us to do? So they go away, they come back, and they say, "Well, could you do something to the?" I'm like, "Well, I can only do but so much, because if I have to link up to the way his mouth is moving, it's gonna look like a karate flip."
Right.
Yeah.
Because phonically and rhythmically, if a cat can't do it and you do it, if you saying a sentence, to the rhythm of the boogie, the beat, 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 and the cat saying to the beat, to the rhythm of it's not going to link up.
No.
Anyway, they begged me. I said, okay, fine, I'll do what I can. So this is what ended up happening. So I went into a studio. They played the whole movie down. And every time he's on, go back and find that movie. Every time he's on the film, on the camera rapping, I had to try to do the best that I could do, still using his mouth inflections to fix his raps. So they don't sound great, but they sound, compared to what it was, I made it better. And in the opening segment of the film, there's an opening segment of the film where he's on a bus and he's coming back home. I wrote that rap and did that rap. But all of those raps in that film that Mario did was me. And the other thing was, and Kadeem was in that movie.
I got to watch it again. I don't even remember Kadeem being in it. That's my dude.
Yeah. He was in that movie because Kadeem was out there. Kadeem was out there with Leo because they were working on the film together. Oh no, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. I think Kadeem was out there working on something else. So so Mario was in it, Leo was in it, and like I said, and yes, and me. And I did all of the raps, the end of the film. Go back and check it out. You're gonna laugh because you're gonna hear sounds of it.
Master G.
Yes.
Listen, bro. This just us.
Okay.
Do me a favor, man. Don't tell nobody else you wrote that red is the color I'm in love no more.
I didn't write that. That was in the script.
I don't want nobody else to hear. Listen, don't own up to that no more. G, I love you, bro.
Okay, I love you. Scratch that. See?
I'm messing with you, baby.
See, only you can get away with me with that. But this is.
That was it.
I got nothing. I got nothing. But yes, man. So
I'm messing with you, baby. Come on. Hey, bro. I got nothing but love for you.
So yes, there you go. That's funny.
Oh man, I love you, Steve. Come on, man.
I love you too, boy. You know I love you. You know I love you with all my heart, boy. We such people. It's ridiculous, man.
That's perfect.
Anyway, so finishing up, man. What you got going on moving forward in the future? What you got going on? What you got? I know you said you're working on some film stuff. Your plans, your ideas, your thoughts. You got anything?
Well, this pandemic, it really messed me up. Because it was like I just got the role for a character in Power Book. Power Book 2. The lead role in a TV One movie. And everything been set still. So I mean, whenever they feel safe, we'll start working on those.
That's what's up.
And I was about 90% done with a documentary I'm filming for Netflix.
Nice.
Called Words I Manifest. I just got 2 more interviews to do. And I mean, it's been coming out amazing. I mean, like we talked to battle rappers, KRS-One, Melly Mel, Kaz, I'm just waiting to get, Nas and just one more person, but I mean, I even got the mad rapper on there cursing me out, Yeah, the mad rapper on there talking, man, I was trying to do my Howard Hewitt shit, and then Kane come with this dark skin shit. It's mad. Yeah, I mean, it's coming out amazing. I just got to really get these last 2 interviews, and I think that's something, because that's something I really wanted to do for the younger generation, just to show them the importance of lyrics, the way to think, the way to work your pen. Or your phone or tablet, whatever you're using, to put your rhymes down. I mean, so I thought that this is something very informative, and I really can't wait to get that done, because it's just documentary stuff. But that's what we've been working on, and it looks like we may possibly finally have this Juice Crew biopic back on track, because we've been dealing with that for like 5 years, and I don't know, hopefully we can get it back on track.
Okay. All right, man. Well, look, man, I want you to enjoy your week, because I know it's your birthday week.
Yes, happy birthday again.
Happy birthday.
Tomorrow's your birthday,
right?
50, tomorrow,
right?
52. Right. 52.
Hey, I'm going to say this publicly, like you said, man. I got so much love for you, man. You have been one of my closest and one of my most amazing people, man, friends, colleagues, brothers that I've known in this thing, man. It's always been an honor to know you and be you and call you a friend and the whole 9 yards. I wish you all the best, man. All the blessings to your family. I mean, just the list goes on. And thank you, man, for coming on and helping us get this thing off the ground. So
My pleasure. My pleasure.
All the best, man. Wish you well. Happy birthday. Thanks for coming on, man.
No doubt.
All right, fellas.
Yeah,
Peace be
okay.
on y'all.
Big Daddy Kane.